Welcome to In Vino Veritas, where we are under the influence and over the bullshit. How are you doing, my friend?
Well, summer's about to start, and I can tell.
Because it's hot.
It is sweaty.
Well, you're also, I don't think people realize, we're on different coasts.
You're correct.
You're on the, you're like, I am on a different coast. You are correct.
My weather is completely different than yours.
I mean, mine's
You're in a different place.
Wow.
Is it dry?
Is it sweaty? You were like, the weather's different in different places, you idiot.
Yeah, I was saying that to myself. I should be nicer.
Dry, even though I'm sweating, my air conditioning is on, because it was 80 degrees when I got home in the house.
Oh, that's warm. That's
toasty.
That's sweaty.
But you've been here. You grew up here, so California. It's not that bad. Obviously, I'm not going to complain.
Yeah, but being on the East Coast, things are different. It's almost summer here. It's very humid. We're about to have a ton of thunderstorms. And the East Coast.
What else is on the East Coast? What happened yesterday? Both us two sports fanatics over here.
I love sports. Go sports.
Yeah, there was a ball game yesterday. And here's the thing. I do the Knicks game, in case anyone listening doesn't know what we're talking about. I didn't watch the game. I saw all the clips, obviously, of the things that were important. And by what are important, I mean Donald Trump being booed to his face by
relentlessly
the crowd. And the crazy part about it is today I'm seeing more footage of people who were there filming, and we saw when I saw it last night, a lot of the clips were from ESPN, they were sports, it's production
official
clips,
camera, right?
Yeah, where they're focusing on the vocalist because it's during the national anthem, and you can tell there's some sound, they're keeping some stuff out. And then when you see the clips today that of people in the stadium, it's so much worse than what it was even on the actual footage and stuff. It's wild.
I only saw clips from people who were there. I haven't heard any of the clips from the news sources that were
it was
reported
bad.
From there.
It was bad because I saw it on CNN or whatever, and it was oh, he's clearly getting booed. But there's that was that is it booze or is it what then the footage, the clips I saw was oh no, girl, he was being booed. And you know what I feel bad is that it was during the singers. The singer doesn't know that that's why they're booing.
But you know what? I think the singer might.
They probably told him FYI, we're going to show the president when you're singing, so don't freak out.
Don't freak
when
out,
people start freaking out and booing, just know it's not you. You're not Fergieing this.
Yeah, I mean, in my mind, I have a whole other thing about that. But in my mind, the singer probably already is aware that the president is going to be highlighted. I'm sure they heard he was coming, and they're singing the national anthem. I doubt they took that personally.
That's a rough experience. Even if you're in your mind, you're they're gonna boo, it's okay, people are gonna freak out. I'd still be you know what? I don't want to sing anymore. I want to leave.
Get me out of here.
I don't need this. Who invited this man?
Who? Did anybody?
No, and that was the thing, is that everyone was because the Knicks have been so bad for so long, it was this big deal that they've obviously won so much and they're on a streak and all this stuff. He shows up, they lose. Wild.
I did see that. I did.
The other piece of this. Sorry, keep going.
No, you go. The bad juju is I thought about that.
The bad juju out of control. I'm of course the Antichrist shows up and they lose. Like, that's what's going to happen. Like, and then I saw that they moved the viewing party, which was supposed to be outside the stadium, like outside Madison Square Garden, I guess. That was where like the viewing thing was going to be for fans that couldn't get tickets, obviously. And they moved it to Bryant Park to be farther away so that because the president was coming, it was like more of a, safer, whatever. And everyone at Bryant Park also was booing. And I'm like, they weren't even there to see or like experience it. And I'm like, wow, the fact that everyone's booing separately and together. And the beauty of that is that the people at Bryant Park obviously couldn't afford the $40,000 it took to get a ticket. But the ultra wealthy that could afford a $40,000 ticket inside were booing that man. That's actually really interesting to me. Like
across class divide.
It's like, it's not about like there's a wealth, the wealth disparity piece of it, and how there is mass hatred of the leadership. Honestly, like it's like no matter who you are, what you are, class, like clearly, like people are not happy with him. Like so that's the thing I think is interesting about it. Like, you had people in Bryant Park who I think you still had to maybe buy a ticket. Like, I don't know. Like, can you just show up? I don't know. New York City's like the Wild West. But like, like they were booing, and then you go, people inside the top 5% are booing. Like, who's happy in this country right now? Like, I don't know. The best news of the week, honestly, aside from like Trump being booed by every living soul in New York City.
That was great news.
That was great news. Great news. We
so,
loved it.
You know what?
Oh, he also, get this, he fell asleep at the game.
Of course he did. Okay. And
you sent me this earlier. I'm surprised you didn't bring it up.
I probably
go to that game to fall asleep. Didn't go to his own son's wedding 2 weeks ago. And the best part about that is you sent me that, and I was like, no, like he was asked at a press conference, are you going to it's like Don Jr., right? His wedding. And he said and I quote, you can quote me on this for the most part, 98%. He said, I don't know, I'm going to try. I've known him a really long time.
I recall him saying this about his son. It's funny. It's also obviously very like disturbing and sad and oh my goodness, but like it's kind of funny. Like I've known.
His
so outrageous.
His outrageousness is not reserved for any one group of people. His own family is a part of it. Like he's like, I don't know. I probably won't. Probably just go to the game, take a nap. Like I don't know. Like what?
What did they say? It was 2 weeks ago. Was his son's wedding?
Mm-hmm.
And he's the first president in history.
Like, I'm probably not going to go, honestly. And here's the thing. I'm going to say this, and people are going to hate me for it, but if he was not the leader of this country, I would respect the game that he plays in the sense of he is he's like, I don't really like my son that much, actually. He's kind of pissed me off. Probably not going to go. You know where I am going to go? Basketball game. Done. And you know what I'm going to do? Take a nap.
Take a nap.
Yes, go off, sis. Like, have a great time. Like, but when you're the president, that's different.
Right. He is the leader of the free world. And he's also the first to ever attend an NBA Finals game while in office.
Which is wild, especially when you consider the reason that they don't often go is it's extremely expensive to taxpayers for the security aspect of having that person. It makes me think maybe, just maybe, he's not so worried that he needs this actual ballroom where he can host events in safety of his own home. You're fine going out to Madison Square Garden. Like, you're fine, bitch. Like,
yeah.
Calm down.
I'm super interested to see how that plays out.
The other little bit of good news, aside from Trump being booed like nonsense at the Knicks game, is everything going on in California. Well, not everything. The LA mayor race specifically is giving me all the feels that I need to feel like humanity exists in this world still. Have you been like following like what's going on?
I have been refreshing the AP and NBC pretty nonstop since this thing started.
My computer's like, you're obsessed with the news all of a sudden. I guess we'll put Pornhub away.
For now.
For now. Don't get rid of it.
Don't get rid of it unless you're in the state of Texas, because you can't have it there unless you give them all of your information.
That, I have another, we'll come back to that. Yes, yes.
We can come back.
We'll come back.
But back in California.
Yes, okay, the mayor. Honestly, I don't see, this is where I fall trap to the stuff that I see that I was like, Spencer Pratt is gonna, and it's like, oh wait, I forget how elections work. Like counting has to happen. They do it county by county, so it's gonna be different each day, like what happens and what comes from it. And like, what are you thinking? Because I'm ecstatic.
So, in my mind, it's like a rebuke of Trump and MAGA in such a huge way. The top two are an establishment Dem, which I've got many opinions about, and someone who is considerably more progressive.
Well, she could be
like,
the Mom Donnie that LA needs, honestly. Like,
you know what? I don't know if I like the comparison because his record is different than hers. And I understand the sentiment, but I fucking hate it.
Well,
I don't know what it is.
That's what I mean by it, to the extent that it's not a defensive move. Karen Bass is a defensive play, right? Like, at least we're not losing ground. Where she would be
a step in a direction
step forward, right?
Right.
Which is actual progress. Like whether or not we agree, like on how progressive it is and if it's enough and all of those things. Like I'm really sick of Democrats like playing safe when we've seen what that does, because it leaves room for like we need to shut it down and we need to squash it. And we need to move forward. I'm sick of being like, oh, good, I'll settle for someone who like sees value in education. No, I want to see someone who like is willing to like do shit about it. Like,
yeah,
it's like,
and it makes me think of what you said last episode.
I'm so smart. God.
Yeah, it does. It makes me think of what you said last episode, where you were talking about how, somebody being for reproductive rights, that's the fucking bare minimum. Some of these things are bare minimums, and you're not even considering a candidate that isn't already at that level.
I want to see like single payer health single oh god.
Vino and Veritas. In Vino Veritas. I never say it right.
I want to see single payer healthcare. I want to see like free preschool and free lunches for kids, and like I want to see something good. I don't want to see like, and that's what Nithya, that's why I say Mom Donnie, because I do think that there is this element of a similarity in really focusing on things that are good and will help people, like
the collective.
Yeah, exactly. And it is why, I mean, I got reamed because I was talking about Steyer on Threads and they were like, he's not a progressive, he's a populist. And I was like, well,
yeah, but right now the popular issues are progressive.
I was going to say, like, to me right now, populist is like saying what he cares about, what most people should care about. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
My bad. Like, that's also like, that's not like, is that a bad thing? Anyway, like, so I think Nithya could be like a really good thing. And I love at least that we have the opportunity. And she said this the other day. I saw an interview with her where she's like, at least now we have the opportunity to have this discussion. She goes, I may not win, but I will push, like, we're going to push this forward and we're going to actually have a productive conversation. If Spencer Pratt was the other candidate, Karen Bass would easy peasy. She'd glide right into that office again, because there's no way that here's what we need to understand. He was never going to win, period. LA is too liberal. Clearly, look at how the breakdown goes. Like between the two candidates being the top two are liberal or left or however you want to label it. But like he was never going to win. But this puts pressure, at least on her, on Karen Bass, to actually have to stand for something, because Nithya is going to come out and be all the things that she is. Like, and that's good. That applies pressure to an established Democrat that's what we need. And she may not win, but I think she has actually a really good chance. I do think she has a good chance of winning. People do not like Karen Bass in LA. I'm going to tell you that right now. They don't. Her handling of the Palisades fire and different things, like people are not a big fan of hers, but they were going to vote for her over Spencer Pratt for sure.
Yeah. I love the fact now that LA has the opportunity to really scrutinize Karen Bass.
Yes.
And push policies forward that are going to help the city at large. You know, the thing that Spencer Pratt ran on, one of the issues was homelessness and how rampant it is in LA. I'm from LA. I know that. Yeah. Okay. I don't think a good solution is going to come from somebody who looks at people as lesser than.
He didn't have a solution. He just said, here's a problem that we all know exists. I'm going to label the problem. It's like, well, yeah, we already knew that, baby boy.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, labeling it, and exactly. And somebody, if let's say in like a dream world, dream scenario, Spencer Pratt actually had an opportunity in some way to make policy around how homelessness is dealt with in the city, because he, as an individual, doesn't look at homeless people as equal to him. Yeah.
Yeah. No,
as a person. Then he's not going to be able to put together policy that is going to be effective and helpful for people in that position. It's impossible.
Right. Totally.
Yeah. No, he looks at it's like how people look at livestock. Mm-hmm. That's it. That's probably equivalent.
Or as I don't want to.
It's fucked up.
It sound extreme, but it is fucked up, and that's where I'm like, this is extreme, but it is sort of like how you look at disease. Like, how do we eliminate this? Mm-hmm. And it's like, okay, but you're talking about human beings. So like, how do we eliminate that? And it's so systemic. There's so many. This is just like, redlining and racism and, voter right. Like that's how deep this goes into things, especially in places like Los Angeles, like that it is not something you can just be like, well, let's build some. No, there's systemic stuff there that if you're not willing to help people from the beginning, how are you ever going to help them, at a later stage in life? Like, that's just not, there's no, if you set people up with the right foundation, they can be something different. If we figure out a way to, fight the fentanyl crisis without demonizing people in the process, like, we can actually have a good, productive conversation about some of this stuff.
I think people turn to drugs because they're unhappy. How the fuck? And the reason a lot of people, I think, are unhappy is because if they're in homelessness and they're doing drugs, I think they're unhappy because their basic needs are not being met. We are lucky that Spencer and folks like him, they expose themselves. So now we know that we're lucky that they didn't win.
He killed two birds, one stone. He, A, isn't on the ballot. B, he said he would leave the state if he wasn't on the ballot. So here we go.
I've been waiting for him to say anything.
People being like Spencer Pratt today, like picking up his crystals and packing them up. Like, he's got to leave.
Oh, no, he's got to leave. I saw...
like packing up his worldly possessions, and it's just like a bunch of crystals, and he's leaving LA. Done. Period. Okay.
Bye, Spencer.
Yep, exactly. You know what? Well, I grew up in the era of the Hills and watching all of that happen. And like, there's a clip going around on TikTok of the Lauren Conrad clip where she's like, I think Spencer Pratt is an icky person. I don't like him. I think he's stupid. I think he's bad for people around him. I think he's bad for Heidi. And I was like, oh my God, this is still applicable today. Like, Lauren Conrad woke up and was like, I'm having a great day. Like,
I saw some folks.
She's like, I called this 20 years ago.
She really did.
I wanted what is going to happen in LA to happen for the governorship, which would have been Steyer challenging Becerra and pushing him to be better and be different, because Becerra is honestly, and I hate to say this, okay, because I'm not a huge Newsom fan, but he's charismatic and he can get people riled up, and I like that. Becerra doesn't have that. He doesn't have the charisma. He doesn't have the chismosa. Like, we need I need him to have an opinion about something and take a stand and fight about it. Newsom is, the last 2 years, Newsom has been playing a great long game from a political standpoint, and it's smart, it's sassy as fuck. Becerra needs some like gay millennials running his stuff, because that's what needs to happen. He needs to get a little dirty.
What you were saying, LA they could have Nithya. That's a possibility. That's a real possibility. And on top of that, Becerra is going to win. And with that being said, California is a gigantic state with so many different things going on that I believe it's just going to take a little bit longer for the state as a whole to move in the same way that LA is trying to.
Well, and here's the thing with California is that, yes, it ultimately always goes blue, but there's a decent amount of red in the state, right? You've got the Central Valley, you've got like the Fresno, Sacramento, like there's stuff that goes on that is a little more red, and it keeps it balanced, which is nice. Like, California is a very dark purple sort of state. Like, and I think that makes it what it is that it does keep it somewhat balanced. But I think that here's my thing. The thing that my take from the whole Becerra Hilton of it all is that, yeah, Becerra's going to win, but you better bet your ass I'm going to be pushing on Becerra his entire term to be doing things that keep the state moving forward. Because I will say this, and I said this, how long ago did I say this to you? Becerra is
last episode.
Not I never felt confident in Becerra to be able to stand up against Trump, and I still don't. And that is my biggest issue, is that obviously Hilton's not going to stand up to him. He'll bend over and open his cheeks. But like, I did think that Steyer would be an intimidating person to Trump. A successful billionaire is the worst nightmare of a failed billionaire. Like, and let's think about who we know Trump to be, right? Like, he is so insecure. So like, Newsom got under his skin so intensely over the last year and a half that I thought Steyer could really do that while simultaneously actually moving the state forward in a really cool, productive way. I'll take Becerra. I'll vote for him. I'll go out and I'll campaign. I'll do stuff. Like, I'm not like, that's not the person I play the game that I'm dealt, right? Like, if I'm given chess, but I wanted to play checkers, I'll play chess. Like, we're going to do it. Like, we can do that. Like, I will. It's why, like, everyone was like, well, why are you voting for Kamala? Because I don't want Trump. That's why. Right? Like, so it was like, not only did I think she had really good stuff going on, but is it my ideal candidate? No. But I don't want the worst case scenario, which is, in this case for California, would be Hilton.
Yeah. But we all know statistically that is legitimately impossible.
I don't know. The governor's race at this point is not that exciting because we know who's going to win, right? Like, Becerra will win. Like, it's just not, which is fine. I'm fine. I'm happy. I'll support it. I'm going to be here to push it forward and push him and make him do the will of the people. There were 8% of people, 26% of people that wanted 20-ish% of the state voted for Steyer. Like, be better, be more, be progressive. Like, let's go with that a little bit. Okay. All of that being said, I really want to segue and move into something completely different. I only saw this today and I was like, someone brought it up and I was like, gosh, this is why this inundation of information that we get at all times is so dangerous, because we forget about stuff that has happened that we like don't follow up on, right? Like, we don't find out the final outcome, or we don't see whatever. So do you know, like, Baby Chance? Do you remember that woman? Her name was Adriana Smith, who was pregnant and complications, basically died. But the state
in Georgia,
you have to like, basically, we have to incubate your child in your corpse for months.
And he had health problems still because he was in the NICU for so long. Okay.
He's still in the NICU. He's a year old now. He's in the NICU. He only weighs 11 pounds. Doctors say he will never leave the hospital. The family that was forced to keep their wife and child on life support so that this baby could be born, the state of Georgia is not helping them with a single health bill, and their insurance doesn't cover it. So they're spending thousands of dollars every month to keep now this struggle, like, just unhealthy, and it makes me sad because, like, yes, it's a child, but it's like
11 pounds at a full year.
And this is where the thing I saw that was so, I mean, it's gut wrenching, truly, and it makes me sick that is what that child's existence is, and that is what the pro-life people fought so hard for him to have, that existence. But it also pisses me off that the family that decided that was not what was best for their loved one, or loved ones, depending on, I guess, how they looked at it, now are being stuck with hundreds of thousands of medical bills because the state said, no, you have to. Here's the thing. You don't hear the pro-life crowd coming out now and being like, let's go fund me for Baby Chance, right? You're not hearing the pro-life crowd come out and be like, how do we fix legislation that would allow this child to thrive and get the medical blah, blah, blah. No, they ditched that person as soon as it was over. And that pisses me off because they're not truly pro-life. If you're pro-life, you're advocating for, food stamps and medical assistance and all these other things that come with being alive, right? But this poor baby, it gives me, I just can't even imagine the absolute torment of that family. That's the problem I have with it, right? Yes, like this poor innocent child that will never get to actually...
No, I don't even know if that's even a child. You said 11 pounds at a year. That it's not moving around. It's not crawling. No, babies are crawling at a year. That is not life.
No.
I don't care what they say. They traded somebody who had children, somebody who had family, who had an established full life for something. What? Something that they are keeping alive in an incubator?
Well, the person said that, and it made me, I lost it when I was watching the video, but they were like, it turns out corpses aren't a great place to try and create life. But I'm like, she was dead for months. It just is. I really, like, it hit me in my gut that I was just like, this poor dad who now has to raise kids without his wife, now has
his partner,
a child that he, I'm sure, loves, but doesn't know. It's never left the NICU.
It's a vegetable. As far as I'm maybe not a vegetable, but an 11 pound.
But like, they're 11 pounds at a year is not okay. And it has so many medical issues. That baby is not conscious most of the day. Like, that is what, I mean, like, what we're talking about is like,
they traded her life for that life. That's what I'm so concerned about, I think, is like, and
Well,
maybe
exactly.
that's what
It's
people
like,
aren't seeing, the stark difference. Maybe that, I'm so glad you brought this story up, Brian, because I hadn't had a mental image of the stark difference between her life and this life.
well, it's like, but this is what I mean by these stories that we hear. We knew about, Adriana Smith. We knew that, oh, they're keeping her alive to like do this, but no one really talks about a year later what does that look like, right? This pro-life fight that kept this child, that brought this child into the world. Oh, it's a child of God, and like, it has this awful, disgusting existence, and so does everyone in its family that is struggling. They can't grieve the mom because now they're grieving this newborn. Like the whole thing is just so twisted and messed up to me that it's just insane that is what and the state's like, yep, we did our job, dusts their hands off and like walks away. You wanted this baby to be alive so bad, so why are you letting this family suffer through the financial ruin of it all, but also like the emotional nonsense? Like, that's insane. And this poor kid has that's not being alive. I don't know.
That year-old baby weighs the same as a newborn.
As big newborns. Yeah, exactly. Like a above average sort of newborn, but yeah.
A slightly above average newborn, and it's a year old. You said it's not conscious most days, most of the time.
So many medical issues. It can't like breathe or digest, like, because it was never obviously breastfed. Like, it's always been tube fed. What is it going to do? Like, I mean, you got to think about, this is where like it pisses me off. Like, when people, I was going to say conservatives, but I'm going to say people in general, do not listen to people who are specialists in their field. Medical people, scientists said, this is not a good idea because of everything that has actually happened. And you know why they knew that? Because they know that. They studied it. They're experts in that field. They knew that this baby was never going to live a normal life because it could not. That is unfair. That is child abuse, as far as I'm concerned, done by the state. Anyway, not to like make this episode a complete downer because we had a lot of fun and like all the things. But,
this is a serious issue, and I'm really glad that you brought it up because it brought my attention to it.
Yeah, it bothered me, and I'm going to tie it back into say something earlier, which makes me sick. Like, not sick, but it makes me annoyed that I'm like tying this to that. But like, it's that same thing going back to some of the election stuff and some of the basic MAGA sort of thing of like, because they didn't get their way in LA. I mean, they haven't realized they haven't gotten their way yet in the governor's race in California, but they will at some point. The claims of election interference, voter fraud, like, oh, like it's running rampant. All these people, you can vote in a different city. I don't know about your timeline. My timeline had a lot of MAGAs being like, driving to California so I can cast my vote for Spencer Pratt. Like, it was like, girl, you're committing voter fraud right now. Like, what are you doing? Like, it's like, and again, we have systems in place to keep that stuff from actually getting involved. There is no evidence of it. And you know what's funny is that Steve Hilton was on like Newsmax or something today, and he said, I have teams of lawyers, like we're looking at everything, and there's no evidence of any like election interference that we can find. And I was like, well, at least, you got the Republican Brit over there at least saying something true. Like, I don't know. Like,
I feel like there has to be some weight to it for at least MAGA if their person is saying, okay, I think everything's good.
Because here's the thing, like, it's why you look at 2020, oh my God, the presidential election, there's so much voter fraud, election interference. 2024, though, however, under the Biden administration, fixed it all, apparently, because in 2024, when the results were for Trump, it was like, nope, everything's great. It worked out exactly smooth, like nothing's wrong. But the minute they get the answer they don't like, they're like a toddler. Like, they're like toddlers. We're like, my child loves playing a game until she loses and then throws a fit. And you're like, well, these are the rules. And she's like, well, let's change the rules. And it's like, it's exactly that. Like, it's like playing sorry with a 7-year-old. Like, it's insane because they do not understand anything. It'll be studied one day. We've talked about that before.
Some of them I've seen firsthand try to go to California to vote and run into the system that's put in place
I
to
saw a guy,
prevent voter fraud.
A conservative, a MAGA gay. I can't, don't get me started. But a MAGA gay who lived in Beverly Hills was like, I'm on my way. I'm going to go vote in LA and like show you guys how it works and like blah, 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 which Beverly Hills has a different mayor than Los Angeles. They're not the same city, obviously. He goes, they allow him to vote. And he's like, look how easy it was. And a guy broke it down. It was like, that's a provisional ballot. Like you vote with the idea that they're going to be like, okay, well, we have to go check and make sure that you did move from Beverly Hills to LA. Or like, there could be a reason why you're not on the system. Like, we'll go verify it all.
Yeah.
Your vote doesn't count, baby boo. Like, calm down. Like,
I saw a video where someone had tried to go to vote and they were met with the form that says, in order for us to give you this provisional ballot, you have to sign that the information you're giving us is factual under the penalty of perjury. And the person eventually ended up not signing it and not voting because we already have these laws in place.
Right. Exactly. Like, these are already what people think. You can walk in just because you don't have to show ID and that you're like, I'm voting, bitch. Give me a booth. Like, that's not how it works.
Right. They don't understand how the process.
Registered at your voting booth, your voting station, if you're doing it in person. Otherwise, you get a mail-in ballot, which you can't get a mail-in ballot unless you're a registered voter, which requires social security number, driver's license, it accrues like proof of citizenship, all of the things. You walk into a voting booth, they'll let you vote no matter who you are. But to your point, you've got to fill out this thing saying you're not on our list of people. That's okay. Give us all of this information. You're signing this saying you're a citizen or that you're eligible.
That your information is correct and that this is not incorrect information.
That's illegal. But like, and then they'll let you go.
They'll prosecute them.
The buttons and push the things and and then you go and then they don't often prosecute, but it doesn't get counted.
Exactly.
That's the point. It's like, it's not getting counted. So like, the way I could lose it.
Oh man, but we are coming to the end of the hour. We have maybe one more subject we can visit. Hunter Biden.
Oh my God. My latest internet crush. Hunter Biden.
Okay, because it was so unintentional, right?
Oh, well, did you see?
It's hot. He's hot for no reason. I get it. I get why it's hot. I get it. I get why it's hot.
As a guy, I get it. I get all of it. Scruffy older man, like I'm like,
yeah. And then him kind of being a little unhinged and like kind of like fuck it on the internet.
In the political world anymore. So he's like, I'm off the chains, bitch. Like I could do whatever I want.
Uninhibited.
Joe was like, Hunter, I'm never running for office. And he was like, yes.
Did you see the interview between Hunter Biden and Candace Owens?
Yes. And she apologized.
I loved it.
Calling him a crackhead.
Yeah, for a crackhead.
Candace Owens is quickly becoming...
And you know what was interesting?
I actually enjoy listening to, which is
I don't, but
I don't enjoy
I'm glad that she seems to be evolving. I will not be consuming her, but I'm glad to see that
Anna
she's.
Kasparian. Did you see? Anna Kasparian from the Young Turks, the
blonde.
Yeah, she's like super anti-Israel right now with everything going on, obviously in Gaza. Like, I love her, but like, she met with her too and was
Anna
like,
said some stuff where I'm like, But they've all everybody from the Young Turks has said some stuff where I'm like,
well, but here's the thing. The thing I'm loving about like the Hunter
that's
Biden,
okay.
Candace Owens, and Anna Kasparian and Candace is like, let's bring back civility in discussion, and like we can sit and we can talk and we can. It doesn't mean I love you. It doesn't mean I'm voting for you or taking your side or any of it. But so much of everything is just shit slinging at this point. That like,
you know what I noticed about everybody you brought up? They're Gen Xers. Maybe that's how they're going to be.
They are in the gray. They're like this, like we're gotta balance.
I don't know what their whole thing. What is so? Ours is Pluto in Scorpio. So Gen Xers, what's before Scorpio? Capricorn? Libra.
Isn't it, or is it Virgo before? No, it'd be Libra.
You're right.
Yeah,
you're right.
Capricorn's after Sagittarius, so it'd be Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn. So it'd be Libra. And Libras are notoriously
justice-oriented. I don't know.
They can be influenced, right? They're air signs. They can, depending on their
whole thing is weighing stuff, right? So they're like they'll take everything in.
Yes, like they're like, okay, once I thought that, but now I think this, and that's like that's who I am. That's what
I feel like there's not enough. Yeah, I feel like there's not enough like cool stuff about Gen X. They're kind of quiet.
Gen X gets completely like ignored in the generational conversation of boomers and millennials and Gen Z, and like no one talks about Gen X because they're extremely different, but they make so much sense between boomers and millennials.
Yeah, like, and I get why
it is this transition generation.
Yes,
like a lot of Gen X is very millennial coded, but like with the staunch foundation of a boomer. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if that makes sense.
I know exactly what you mean. My partner is Gen X, and they actually, something that I noticed about them is their humor is very brash. And they also
like direct.
Yes. And so it's like, okay, the rudeness of the boomers, but at the same time, the wit of the millennials. So you're saying the in between.
Like the mental emotional capacity of a millennial versus like the mental emotional density of a boomer.
Yes, they are definitely have moved. I love the capacity versus density where there's like weight to it. Yes, they have evolved further.
Because I do think that Gen X is that generation that is sort of boomery, but they're willing to adapt and evolve. Boomers are not. They've got their fucking heels in the ground. They're like, no, I'll stay here forever because I bought this house in 1957. Like they're not going anywhere. But like the Gen X is like, no, like let's grow, let's be different, let's evolve over time, and like that's kind of their vibe. But
I love that you pointed out that they're Pluto and Libra because again, Libra is about balance. So they so they see it.
They also are the balance. They're like also that quiet generation that does balance. The reason that so many millennials are the way that they are and the way that we think is because we, at some point, were affected by a Gen Xer. Like you look at a celebrity that was a Gen X person, or like, you know, someone in your family, or, you know, you have that aunt or that uncle or like whoever that was a Gen X person that had an impact on you. And that mentality was just progressive enough, I use that word lightly, from boomer to be like, oh, wait, I can be a little different. That's cool. And like, that's the millennial. Like millennials were born from that. Like they weren't Gen X wasn't necessarily always our parents, but they were our aunts and uncles.
And our older siblings, I think.
And our older siblings, totally, for sure. Yes, exactly.
Yeah, it's they don't get enough love. I think it's because, like you said, they're a smaller generation.
They're smaller.
I don't know if I think we're bigger than them.
Yes, we are.
We're bigger than them.
Unrelated, and we can end on this. This has nothing to do with anything, but I just saw this crazy preview for a documentary coming out about how as the boomers start to die, there will be no space for them to be buried or to be burnt. Like the idea of like that amount of ash going out, like as you burn some, like they were like, no, like it's a literal like crisis that no one is talking about because the boomers are a massive generation of people and they will all start dying within a period of time, and we have to figure that out. And like that, I was like, you guys really just, that's your last like fuck you to the world, huh? You're just gonna fuck us all over as you're being burnt alive, burnt to pieces for some ash.
Yes, I've got some stuff I'm gonna send you.
All right,
on them astrologically, but you are absolutely right, because I did see recently that they are not going to be able to afford their home care either, their elder care. And we didn't, as a society, save for that for them because they didn't want Social Security.
Exactly.
Literally.
So like, you know what? Yeah, go get that job, 95-year-old grandma. Like, get out there. Why aren't you working hard enough?
Come on. Your bootstraps.
Yeah, pick them up. hit the life alert and keep it moving. No. See, this is where I don't like being that person. That's not me. But
but it was so fucking funny.
You pushed me
You're
too
like,
far.
I may not have felt it.
Well, this has been fun. I loved it.
This was a good one, I think.
Hour, I'm sure the world has completely burned down outside, and we will have fodder for the next episode. So, oh God,
this was a good one. Well, folks,
this has been In Vino Veritas. We are clearly under the influence and over the bullshit. See, the name holds up. Bye, guys.